Borough fans, hello and welcome back to season 7 on the Stevenage Football Club podcast. That is right, season 7, and today's episode is episode 40. And there was only one way to word this episode today. Just how, with a question mark, because how on earth did we lose that game of football on Saturday away at Northampton? So we've titled it How today. Borough fans, hopefully you've had a lovely weekend and a lovely week. Again, hello to all of you that have tuned in on YouTube. Make sure to give us a follow, a like, and a subscribe on YouTube. And also make sure to go and give us a like on all the Audible services such as Spotify, etc. We also hope that you did like our instant reaction video. If you haven't seen that, pretty much we're doing a new feature on the pod where after every match now for the rest of the season, and we're going to kind of really we use a big focal point on it for the big one next season. After every match, we will be doing an instant reaction video, 15 to 20 minutes, chatting about the match, looking ahead. So if you haven't seen that, please go to the Stevenage Football Club podcast YouTube page. Go and give that a watch, a like. It is very good. And you get to see Andy throw some explicitories, in there from the get-go, and a mini reference as well. It was good fun. So guys, welcome back. There's only one way to start this pod. I'm just trying to think of a way that I can really annoy Andy. And the only thing I can do is, we are ninth place, sir. We are ninth place. Don't give me the double thumbs down, Andy. Don't give me the double thumbs. Ninth after 29. If someone would have said to you in Spain, and you would have taken that, I would have cried at it, and I'm getting quadruple thumbs down from And and Luca. Boys, how are we?
Somewhat calmer than yesterday, but still not quite as calm as I should be.
Somewhat calmer. I don't
Building
think
up
I've
for
ever
the
seen
big
you, Dan.
episode is and building up.
Yeah. I feel like, and like when you're cooking your dinner and you need to preheat the oven. I feel like we're at that stage. But give it, 20 minutes of being on a good old 250 degrees, 180 degrees, and will be bubbling like he was yesterday. Yeah, I think.
I was fuming yesterday.
You were
That really annoyed me.
that instant reaction video. I've seen you throwing hand signals.
The thumbnail of the
Uh,
century, honestly.
That was elite, by the way. What a thumbnail, by the way. Was that about Charlie Good or Harv? Who are you speaking about?
I think it was about half playing that 60-yard ball straight down the middle of the pitch that
Oh,
offered nothing to anybody. And the keeper
60.
just went, "Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks." Controlled it with his foot.
Yeah, I know that.
Waste of time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you're on about. No legs. I think the words were.
He doesn't have legs, does he? He doesn't make any like forward runs. You just see him, he turns, he gets the ball, oh, I'll play a pass to the left, I'll play a pass to the right. Move forward, create space, make an angle. It's stuff you teach kids. It's the basics.
Yeah, true.
Crying out loud.
It was a oh my god. I mean, you guys know me. I love this team, right? We've created
Barley.
top half League One team. We're going to achieve that, but we've lost another away match. We've lost 5 away in a row now, and the last 3 have all been 3 goals conceded. By the way.
Barley, if you're anything positive about yesterday.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay,
Just to
good.
clarify,
Just to clarify, there's
I,
nothing
I
good coming out of
can't sit
yesterday.
here and defend, a 3-1 loss at Northampton as dominant as we were in the second half. And again, don't get me wrong, I don't know how on earth we lost the game. Like when you look at the
Real
chances,
pony.
yeah, don't get me wrong, but like when you look at the chances, you just think, what is going on? Like, but no, you have to be realistic with it, don't you? And to lose 3-1 at a team like Northampton, we said it on the instant reaction video, like we lost 3-1 to one of the poorest sides in the league. I mean, I think Northampton will go down. Like compare that to when we beat them 2-0 to go top of the league at the start of the season. Like the comparison to performances and what we saw, it was like night and day. So no, I'm going to be realistic with it. But aside from the football, lads, how are you? Good little Pizza Hut date yesterday.
Went down a storm.
Didn't it? It was good.
We got caught on CCTV, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, of course, of
Oh,
course. Wonder how Matey's doing. I hope he's well.
I really do. I really do.
go on, tell the listeners. Go on, tell them.
So basically, we parked in the car park and we were walking to the Pizza Hut to meet Farley. We started crossing the road. This bloke had stopped at a giveaway sign to give way to a car. So we started crossing the road. But as we started crossing the road, we were probably about halfway over, I think, at this point. He started moving and gave us a bib. And we were like, mate, you were stopped. Like, hang on a minute. You stopped, so we started crossing. And then you started giving us jip. And then like we were waiting for Pizza Hut to open. The guy was like, "Oh, next time you should look before you move." And you're like, "Mate, okay, yeah, whatever. Crack on. Go enjoy your gym session." He went, "Oh, I work here." I was like, "Well, go and get the CCTV up." I went, "Yeah, CCTV showing that you
I
were."
bet he's
Oh,
delighted that he's got a mention. I bet he's
oh,
absolutely delighted.
Yeah, do you
honestly,
actually reckon he knew who you were, maybe? And it was like,
no,
Oh,
he
as a
wouldn't have a
celebrity,
clue.
of course.
He
As
would
a
not have had a
celebrity, of
clue.
course he knows.
saying that, actually, yeah, and he probably would have known who you are. Potentially.
No,
That's why he beat
firmly not.
or
Of course he knows the stats. Come on.
100%. I heard him bib you as well. That was Matt. I'm going to go get the CCTV. For what?
Yeah.
Really? What?
Farley's first involvement was calling him a tosser, which is
Yeah, that did.
lovely.
I'll
I did
get it.
enjoy that. You're like, "Oh, mate, all right, give it a break." And as he walked off, he went, "Oh, you tosser." I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
right.
there it is."
There it
I
is.
was waiting for it.
There's that pre-match rattling before the game, as we call it.
Yeah, it didn't work, did it?
Yeah.
Waste of time for everybody.
All but worked for 90 minutes prior. And that
I would
was,
have loved to have seen Chris Farley in that situation.
mate, oh my God, yeah, I tell you what. Do you know what it was for me? It was just the way we were in a car park. It was like, just give way, mate.
Yeah.
Like, there's people walking across,
And then we just later discovered that he went up the bit where it says no entry, and I was like, "Well, he's broken the car park rules, then, isn't he?"
yeah, go get the CCTV. Yes,
Yeah, we'll get that one on CCTV. And
do it. Yeah, I know. It was
no.
good. It was good pizza up though. And by the way, that was our first pod outing
It was.
to a match.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what a result for it, eh? Wow.
Oh, should do it again.
Yeah.
Farley,
Yeah.
no.
Wickham, same time at Wickham. Tough game
It's
as
a
it is in a few
12:30
weeks.
kickoff as well. That one, isn't it?
Oh, mate, we've got these 12:30s coming up. We've got Huddersfield this Saturday, 12:30, then Wickham, 12:30.
They're never any good.
Has the like they do releases of kickoff times in blocks. Has the one been done yet to the end of the season? Or is no?
No, I think they
Don't
did
think
March
so.
the other day.
Oh, for goodness sake. So April, although we've got two Easter matches. I mean, what are the ones April? Bradford, Lincoln, Doncaster. The Borough League One Stag.
Honestly, we're awful in the 12:30 kickoffs. Why do they keep giving it to us?
Well, it might be a well earned. I don't want to say well earned break, but something just to break the apple cart.
A break for us.
We're just because the 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't actually going that well for us recently. So maybe 12:30 is
No kickoff is going well for
The
us. If it was
Saturdays
12
aren't
o'clock
going
or
well
3
for us.
o'clock.
Tuesday nights. You watch Barnsley on Tuesday. It could be a different cat.
Won't happen.
I don't know. I believe
David McGoldrick will run rings around our
no,
players.
David McGoldrick.
not with Pidge back in the team. Louis Thompson in the middle.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say it, but Charlie Goode shouldn't be anywhere near that squad on Tuesday night.
That is controversial. That is.
Sweens I'd keep in, Freestone I'd keep in, Pidge comes in for me.
I'd like to see Pidge back, no doubt. I'd like to see Pidge back in with Louis Thompson. Charlie's been like one of the players of the season. This
Whereas
season.
I said to you on the reaction, we missed a leader, and that was a really big thing for me. You could see it, and as poor as Pidge has been, we lacked the organisation.
I mean, maybe he goes back on Tuesday to having all of them with Freestone left back. Maybe I don't know because he started let Freestone against Barnsley left back, didn't he?
We're not playing a 4-2-3-1.
Sorry, no, he didn't actually. He started left centre back, didn't he? Right?
Yeah, at Barnsley away because he started with a 5.
Yeah,
and then
3-5-2.
Jasper got
So he
injured.
would have gone from left centre back to right back. Also, we might have started Lou there. But I'd like to see Pidge back in. Yeah, I can see why he dropped Pidge for the basis of, Pidge didn't have the best of games at Barnsley, but I think it was really evident. Because the thing was as well, it was a very Cole Pigiani game of football. Did you boys think that at all?
Yeah.
He needs someone there to just
brilliant.
flat it.
Like, I'm not being funny. Every time we got a corner, we won a header.
He
Like,
would have scored yesterday. He would have
oh,
scored
like,
yesterday.
1,000,000%. Probably, it's so odd, isn't it? Because everyone after Barnsley said, oh, you probably got to just drop Pidge for a game. But then you get to that said game, and actually the game was made for him, wasn't it, really?
Do you feel like it's against the bigger teams, the teams who play?
Big football. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Like Cardiff, etc. Although he did really well at Cardiff. But you know what I mean? The teams that get the ball, move it quickly, like Barnsley do a little bit through the lines at their place.
But I mean, the teams that we played in our promotion season from League Two, you're talking Orient, Northampton, them type of teams. That's when I fancy him. You know, the bottom half teams who play to his style. I think the top half teams expose him really, and I think you've seen that in a few games.
Yeah, especially on those bigger pitches as well where they move.
Yeah,
like Barnsley, for example. Although, again, we put Barnsley down to Revs, didn't we? In the fact that he abandoned the 3-5-2 so early to revert, and obviously when you leave Pidge isolated in a pair on that big pitch with those players we're up against, it's always going to be a tough battle, isn't it? Right, lads, let's get into it. We did do a little bit on the instant reaction video. So if you haven't seen that, I suggest I go and quickly watch it and then hop back into the pod, maybe. That'd be good. But we did play Northampton in our 29th League One match of the 2025/26 season, the most important season. Before, I'm going to really upset Anne with this one, the biggest and most important next season. Double thumbs down. Luca's not giving. Oh no, there it is.
Well played, Luca. Well played.
I'll give myself a thumb up. There we go. I'll leave it out.
No.
We did play Northampton. Going into this game, I think we all said, we have to see a win. And, playing a team that's second bottom, given what we have this season, in the fact that, we created a top half League One team, we would expect, even though that we had, 3 wins in 18 prior to this, that we'd go and we'd win, we'd get the personnel right, get the system right, and we'd win the game. And that wasn't the case. Another 3-1 defeat away at Northampton. And it was a crazy afternoon of football. I mean, wow, the amount of stuff that happened in this game to some, we quit mistakes, missed chances, and an absolute refereeing shit show. So we're going to go through it completely. I'm going to quickly go through the lineup, the stats, and then we're going to have a discussion about it for all of you. So again, a 3-1 defeat to Northampton. Jamie Reid was the goal scorer for us in the 37th minute, really getting his 9th goal of the season in the league. The lineups for ourselves. Now, I think we were all extremely happy to see that Alex Revell got the system right and he got the personnel right. And I know that obviously some of the players' performances when the match started were concerning, but for the best part, the system was bang on, the personnel was bang on, and we know that when we get those two things right, we will win matches. But there were a lot of errors throughout the team yesterday. We lined up in a 3-5-2. Philip Marshall, as we like to call him, Philip Martial.
No, just you. Just you.
Have a penalty save for Phil yesterday, led by the heroic Marlon Beresford. Yes, he
No, too much airtime.
I'm sorry. Did you see after the penalty, it was in the goal, you had that spot in front of the line that was all messed up. And if you look at the replay, the ball stops completely because of that divot in the ground.
That's mad.
And then Tom Eaves just taps it in.
That's crazy. Come back to Hornets in the end. But Phil was in between the six, the back five or back three with the two wing backs. Luther Wilding was back in as captain after his shoulder injury away at Exeter. Charlie Good, Dan Sweeney, Lewis Freestone played in the centre-back partnership. Cole Pigiani dropped to the bench. Saxon Early was the left wing back on the left-hand side of the pitch. The two sitting midfield players, Dan Phillips and Harvey White, with Dan Kemp in the 10, and the two leading the lineup were Jamie Reid and Harry Cornick. The substitutions on the bench, Tashby Hammond, Chem Campbell, Jordan Houghton, Bez Labala, Cole Pigiani, Jordan Roberts, and Louis Thompson. The match statistics were heavily dominated by ourselves for the best part. We had 64% possession. We had 14 shots overall in the match with 5 on target. We had 34 touches in the opposition's box. We won 37 aerial duels. We had 3 corners in the match, and Phil only made 2 saves. Some of the distribution stats, as we always like to go through, we made 403 passes with a 74.2 pass accuracy percentage. We had 49 backward passes, 165 forward passes, 63 long balls, 92 successful final third passes, and there was a total of 20 crosses in the match. The statistics mainly are very heavy on our side of the match rather than Northampton's. Boys, it was a crazy afternoon, wasn't it? It was really odd because we got the system right. We got the personnel right. And we said when we saw the lineup, didn't we, inside the away, and brilliant. Revs has got it bang on. He's got the system right. He's stuck with 3-5-2. He's got the personnel right. Let's go and play to that top League One level, as we've seen so many times this season, especially in the opening few months of the season, and even since then when we beat Stockport 3-1, and go and win this game. And it was the opposite, wasn't it? Mistakes all over the pitch for goals conceded, chances missed, sitters missed, in fact, in front of goal, goalmouth scrambles. And to go along with that, to concede 3 against really a poor side in Northampton, who are probably going to get relegated. A real kind of bad afternoon for this team. It means that we've had 5 consecutive away defeats in a row and 3 goals conceded each in the last 3 away games. Boys, who wants to take it on first?
Let you go, Luca, because I started yesterday.
You proper did start yesterday.
Yeah. God dear me, I was worried when I heard the S and S word. I was like, oh wow, and rattled, and
yeah. I've had a chance to assess it and look back at it, and regather my thoughts on what to reflect on. And I kind of started with an assessment of our season, really, and where I think we are at the moment. And I said that we are good enough, but we're not good enough, and that's how I look at it. We've got lots of positives, but for me, when those positives run out, we have so many negatives at the moment, and we can't get away from that, and we can't get back to the positives of our start to the season. Where, for me, I think everything at the start of the season was maybe too good. Everything worked. There was nothing that was negative. Everything was working for us, and that was the first 10 games. And then you've kind of got to this run where nothing seems to be working. There always seems to be something that is wrong, and that wouldn't be a problem if we knew how to win games without that problem. Because for me, the problem with us is that we struggle to win games when we're not playing well, and we need to produce those performances like the big teams do, like teams who want to go and challenge do. That's what we need to do. But I mean, we know how quality we are. We know the players that we've got. We know the depth in the squad that we have. As you say, you don't win 8 in 10 if you're not a top team. And we are a top team because you've shown that at the start of the season. But, I mean, the run afterwards, we've just been found out completely. And for me, when that plan A runs out, the plan B is not there, or if it is there, it's not good enough. And it's simple as that for me.
I think, and I think we've said this a lot on the pod over the kind of past couple of months since we've been going through this little bit, 2.5 months, you could say, maybe even 3 at a push. As you said, Luca, we know we have got a top team, right? We know that. We knew in the summer that the goal was to become a top half League One team, and we created that. And then you do not win 8 games in 10 in this league if you're not a top team, right? You can see it early on in seasons where teams over the first 5 games, like Wimbledon did, they'll go and win 3 or 4 games, right? And you can have a really good start to a season. You see it all the time in all of the EFL divisions, right? But to go 10 games and 8 wins and just 1 defeat and not losing at home till December, right? And having the best defence, we don't have that anymore, but the best defence all the way up until February. We know, as we did in the summer, we've created a top half League One team. We know we have that, right? But the past few months, we've been really held back from the lack of adaptability with our system and the lack of trying different formations to deploy in games and just sticking with the same.
Does it concern you? Because it does me. Does it concern you that we don't have a main strength at the moment? Because you look back on it, and the back end of last season, we were still solid defensively. We just couldn't score goals.
No, 100%. And I agree. And that's what I'm saying, right? We know that we have created a top half League One team. We created that in the summer. We know for certain, right? If you go back and look at the first 3 months, those wins, those performances, we have created a top half League One team. We have it. But we've been massively held back from the systems that we've tried to deploy consistently each week. And there's been games where we've got the personnel wrong and got the right formation. There's been games where we've got the formation right and got the personnel wrong. And what really disappointed me about Saturday was we got the formation right and we pretty much got the personnel right. But the players' performance was just not good enough.
I don't get is that Revs, he sets these standards for intensity, aggression, everything you hear him say, but the players he picks don't give that to him. And for me, a lot of them aren't running enough. And the response to goals that we concede isn't good enough. And that's why we're conceding more goals a lot of the time. Because you look at it, when we used to concede goals, they used to have to, honestly, the opposition, the attack after attack, and honestly, we wouldn't concede goals, would we? We just wouldn't concede goals.
Well, that was the case at the start of the season, really.
Exactly. What it would take the opposition to score a goal against us. Amazing what we were doing in terms of how good we were defensively. But now, if that first goal we conceded, which is abhorrent, I mean, I don't know what was happening. It just
lost the run,
crossed into the box, and it just looked like it went all the way in. And the response to that is like, okay, well, we've conceded another goal. We're just going to have to get back in it. And that's not our standards. That's not our standards whatsoever.
The thing is, I called it on Saturday a very uncharacteristic performance for a team that we've created to be in the top half of League One. Like, as you said, first goal, crossing the box. Like, we rarely concede goals like that. So uncharacteristic that players aren't following their runners into the box. When you look at the personnel back there, the third goal even, again, not following a simple...
Oh, and it was the worst thing for me last week because 3-1 to Barnsley, and you've got 2 goals where Carl Piergiani is not tracking his runner. 2 goals where he's not doing that. And for me, that sums it up because that is an example that completely concerns me.
Yeah, I agree. And you were fuming, again.
To put it lightly.
Again, it was just a car crash of errors, the mistakes made for the goals. But the chances we had yesterday, we're not talking about these are chances where you have an opportunity in the box where you could potentially do better. These are chances that are like, we're clean through, or the ball's 3 yards out from a tap-in and all you got to do is commit and just kick the ball in. These are, or obviously Sweens' one was just an unbelievable save, really. Not much we can do about that. But those other 2 chances, we're coming out of the ground yesterday going, how on earth have we lost that based on that? But what was your thought on it,
mate? We never rocked up. We got there and went, yeah, these are 23rd. We'll go through the motions and hopefully we'll nick a result at the end of it somehow. And it wasn't good enough. And my thing is, right, start of the season, we had this unbelievable start. And all our fans' standards went from here
good point,
to there. So now as a fan, I'm sitting there going, well, we can do this. So that's what I want. That's what I expect. That's, what I want from a Stevenage team is this. But we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And now people are sitting there going, well, why are we not at this standard anymore? And that's got to come from either players or management. Is there the possibility of one, don't want to sound like the most negative guy in the world, and I'm this, that, and the other, right? It's just me being realistic. Is it one, Revs is out of his depth, and in the sense of, and I said it last season, if we go on a blip like we're in now, 3 wins in 18, is Revs the man to get everyone by the collar and go, you lot are mucking around. This is not good enough. Is he going to get this team and take us out of a blip and change the season round?
Mm.
Or has he lost the dressing room? It's got to be one of them two things for me. Because you look at the players yesterday, and Luca said it, he's picking players that don't really do what he asked them to do. And I know I went for Harvey White yesterday, right? And I've calmed down a lot now. But my God, you saw within the first 10 minutes he should be on the pitch. It was
Yeah.
a game where I said it yesterday, you play a 3-5-2, your two midfielders have to be ball getters and runners. Harvey White doesn't go and win you a ball. Harvey White doesn't go and run up the length of the pitch. He doesn't.
Bit of a luxury player, Harv, isn't he, in terms of,
He's there going, oh, I can just stroll around.
Yeah,
No,
but Andrew, what does Louis Thompson have to do to play? We said it instant. Yeah, like I remember our season-defining win at Stockport, right, the 3-1. He was the best player on the pitch of both teams that day. He was brilliant. And he has.
that midfield was Dan Phillips, Louis Thompson, Jordan Houghton.
It was those three, yeah.
Right? Those three. Experience, know-how, ball getters, runners. Maybe not so much for Jordan Houghton on the runners.
He starts for everyone every week. I don't care what anyone says. Louis Thompson starts in that team.
100%.
But,
I don't know why he's not playing. I don't know.
but Harvey White then comes back in after being ill. And I'm sitting there going, well, we had our best midfield for me personally, right? In terms of, and this might be controversial because that means Dan Kemp doesn't make the team, right? And to be fair to Kempy, he's not had a great season, but we're not playing to his way.
Yeah,
So if we're not going to play to Dan Kemp's style, there's no point in having Dan Kemp on the pitch. There
And
was
he's
a point
still scored a
yesterday.
few goals, isn't he? He's got a few, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's a point yesterday. Dan Kemp was asking for the ball in the left centre half role. He should be nowhere near that place. He should be up the pitch near Reedy and Cornick. What's Dan Kemp doing there?
Yeah, yeah.
There was no patterns of play. And then we go to the chances. Look, on a different day, the goalmouth scramble and the Sween's header that could go in.
It probably
Right,
goes
so
in another day, doesn't it?
on another day, the keeper's had a worldie for the Sweens one. The one off the line, I think Reedy gets the ball stuck between his feet. He's trying to get it onto his other foot. For
Yeah.
me, just put your foot through it and lift it and it goes in. The one where he beat his man and he took his shot, I can see why he's done it because I think Reedy is potentially low on confidence, not scored for a while, needs a goal just to get himself going again.
And he
I can
got it,
see,
didn't he? He got it as well,
yeah,
which was a really good finish.
yeah, he did get it. Harry Cornick's in the middle of the box by
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
It's quite a simple little square. It's one of the most basic goals, and people go, "Oh, but you know, those goals aren't great." I don't care at
Yeah.
this point because I don't see it. And I said it to Sam. I might have said it in the car on the way home yesterday. Unfortunately, at the moment, I don't see us scoring more than one goal a game.
Yeah. So
We're creating all these chances, but we're not score. I don't look at that pitch and go, "You could go and get me a goal. You could get me a goal. You could
The
get me a
players
goal."
don't fill you with confidence because they do it so regularly.
and also to throw into that as well, right? And by the way, I'm over the moon that Reedy got his goal. And by the way, that was a really good goal as well. Great ball. And that do you know what? Jamie, that goal was a brilliant goal. He runs across his man, Reedy, right? He runs across with the ball. Brilliant finish. I think with Jamie Reid, he's under massive pressure because we don't have any other goal scorers. So I think Reedy's got this burden at the minute where it's like, I'm having to be the man because there's no one else to score. I think that's a lot of pressure to having a team that's won 3-0.
But he should have had a hat trick yesterday.
Yeah, he
Easily.
probably does on another
But,
day. Probably does on another day.
we sit here and say that he's under pressure, right? But then you look at the January transfer window. We know Gas is out. We know Jovan's not good enough. Bez is slightly starting to get better, but not by much. He's getting there, right? So we've lost 2 strikers. We've lost Jake Young, 3 strikers, right? So I'm thinking we need to go and get someone, and we know Reedy works good in a partnership with someone alongside him who's of a big stature, of a big nature, and we go and get Harry Cornick.
Yeah,
With all due to respect to Harry Cornick, he is not the player that Jamie Reid needs.
yeah.
Jamie Reid needs a player like a Luke Norris who will win his flick-ons, win the ball in the air, hold him up, play the through ball, can also run in behind as well to help him.
Well, I think you saw really oddly in November when we actually changed the system for those matches where we beat Peterborough and got that really good point at Wigan. When he was playing with the Gas, it looked really good.
That's my point.
Yeah, it looked really good.
No, honestly, it screams to me that Revs hasn't been backed at all because Harry
that's
Cornick,
worrying.
he is. Yeah, it is because of our form. But Harry Cornick, as you say, he's a small striker, but he's versatile. He's mobile. He should be playing in Reedy's position, not alongside him.
And also, Cornick, I was told when we signed Cornick, I spoke to someone that had seen Cornick play for a long time. And I won't say who it is on here, but this person who had watched Harry Cornick said he's a 1-to-6 player, right? Like generally, his career. And what he meant by that is he's a guy that will score a goal for every 6 chances. He's a 1 in 6 sort of, which isn't really what we need at the minute. We need a guy that's going to score goals.
What's Reedy if Cornick's 1 in 6?
This is my point. Standards are down again.
Yeah.
You know, if and January is a notoriously tough month to get signings. I understand that. I get that. But why have we not figured out what really is so good at in a strike partnership, despite Revs watching Evans play really in a specific way for 2 years, right? He's watched him play for 2-3 years under Evans with a big man next to him. You should go, we want that player there, and go, Phil, we need him to start getting really scoring goals and for us to carry on this.
I'm sorry, but we need it now. We need the striker now because it's not for the future. I mean, the only option we've got is Jordan Roberts.
And all this being blown out the water by other teams, can't we sign someone on loan? Is there not like a loan? I know we got Harry Cornick on loan. Can't we use the loan market? Because the loan market is still open, right? It's still open now, I think, isn't it? You can get loans now.
I mean, I'd go and get a free agent for God's sake. Just someone who can play up there.
It probably is, to be fair, isn't it?
At this point, me or you finally might be worthwhile chucking on up top.
Mate, I will shove on a blue striped Zola any day of the week and run my arse off for that team up there.
That's the other thing that really frustrated me yesterday. You put any one of us 3 in that shirt and in that position and in those shoes to go and play and represent the club that we love, and we would die on that pitch to have that opportunity. And players were just going through the motions and walking and just thinking, oh, this is too easy. We can win this. It's fine. It's not good enough. It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For me, when I watch the Stevenage team play, I expect heart, determination, commitment, running, in your face, aggressive. There was none of that. None of that.
One thing I want to see as well, right, which I don't think we've had this season under Revs because of, the fact that we've tried to create this top half League One team. A bit of nastiness, like remember Evans? Is nasty, gnarly,
Generally, if that was Steve Evans in charge of us yesterday, we would have probably won that game.
Yeah, probably.
He would have been, well, we'll get to the referee later on because if he's anywhere near the championship game in the next round, the FA and the PGMOL need to take a long, long, hard look at themselves.
Mm.
You look at the Saxon moment in the second half in front of around the box, 3 fouls on him, not one was given. He had 3 opportunities, 3. He had his shirt pulled, he was tripped, and he got bundled over by two Northampton players. And the ref went, "No, no, you're all right, son, carry on."
Do you know what? Actually, I think we should say it now. I've got it written down in front of me, right? So, because we're on the subject, we might as well speak about it, about the referee, right? Because he was shocking yesterday. I've got Dan Kemp, disallowed goal, right?
Yep,
First half. I've then written beneath it Charlie Good, shirt
yeah,
tugged, second half, right? Written beneath that. We've also got Saxon Early with onside question mark because there was massive debate over actually he was onside for this, and it was said in Revs' interview as well. These are 3 massive moments and decisions all gone against us in that game. What the hell was the Dan Kemp one?
He set an awful standard for minute one.
yeah.
That's the problem.
This is my issue. These are paid professionals. This is their job. And I say it week in and I say it week out. If any one of us rocked up to our job and went, "Screw the lot of you, I'm making today all about me," what happens? We get called in, we'll get a disciplinary, we get sacked. What happens in the refereeing world? Off to the championship, off you go, mate, you're good enough. It's not we're letting the standard of refereeing in England deteriorate week upon week upon week. And I'm not seeing it just from Stevenage fans, I'm seeing it from football fans across League One. The referees are getting worse. And when we first got into League One, I thought, crikey, this is gonna be tough. These are awful. And that was 2, 3 years ago. They're worse
Yeah,
now.
It's got
yeah,
worse. It's
it
got
They are
has.
worse.
worse.
It has got worse.
I watched the highlights back. They don't show you the Saxon early goal that was supposedly onside. I wonder why, because the officials probably have made an absolute pig's ear of a decision and they're trying to protect them at all costs. The Dan Kemp one, it's hard to tell because it's coming, you can see his back, you don't see the front of it, but the linesman's looking at it. So if the linesman doesn't flag, something should tell you it's fine, right? Your
Oh,
linesman's there to help you if you can't see it. His position's awful because Dan Kemp's body has got his back to him and you can't see where the ball is. What I saw for me, it hits him on his chest, on his thigh, and then his hand is in a natural position relative to where his knee has gone. His knee's gone up, so his arm's going to go up with it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
therefore, should be a natural position, but it's also hit him there, right? So it's hit him on the shoulder, chest area. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If that's handball, then I'm the Pope, right? Quite frankly, Saxon early, I've already gone through 3 of them, 3 of them, and
Mm,
he goes, "No, no, no. I don't know what he wants from a foul. What dictates a foul? Because one minute he's giving soft fouls, next
yeah,
minute he's not giving soft fouls,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, I mean, God forbid the Charlie Good one. He's looking at it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
see the still image that Sam got it on video, sent it to me today, and I had a look again, and I've shown probably 3 or 4 people, and they've all gone, "What's he watching?
Mm,
What is he watching?" He's looking at it. He can see Goody's not even got his hands anywhere near him, so he's not like he's a 50-50. You've both got each other's shirt. He's pulling him back, and the trajectory of the ball, where would have ended up on Goody's head. Now, I'm
yeah,
not saying it's going to go in, but what I'm saying is he's denied him a chance of reaching that ball and denying a goal scoring opportunity. So
yeah,
therefore, penalty and red card.
yeah.
I watched the Liverpool City game this afternoon. There was a moment where I think it was Gravenberch went round the outside one of the City players. The Liverpool players grabbed him back, pulled him back. The referee went, free kick, yellow card. Right? Because that is the law. That is the law. It is a joke. It's becoming farcical, and I hope to high heavens that that man is not refereeing at a higher level anytime soon,
Are you
because
watching it as
ultimately
well?
it he will be. And
No.
this is the issue with football, and arguably at points in this country, we reward bad decisions.
Yeah, we do. Well, especially
What
especially with the referees. I mean,
I I I go and watch my mate play at Horsham. I go and watch Hampton down the road, right? Two National League South. Okay, the referees aren't great, but do you know what they are? They're consistent. If they blow for a little foul within the first couple of minutes, they do it for the rest of the game. If they don't do it. I'm at the point now where I'm questioning the integrity of the ref from yesterday because it took him 60 minutes to book one of their players.
mm,
60. We had a player booked within 30.
mm,
And how many fouls had Northampton committed by that point? 60
yeah,
minutes.
100%.
About 15, 20.
I think the
And
first
he
booking was it when Sweens and Fitzsimmons went head to head. Was it that one
no, it was I think it might have been one before.
before?
There was another one before. And then that one, by the way,
Mm,
the keeper puts his head into Sweens. Now, by letter of law that we've all been told that, if you move your head towards another player in an aggressive manner, which for me is what I would have deemed Fitzsimmons was, and people go, "Oh, you've got a bias hat on." No, watch it.
mm,
He moves his head towards Sweens with a temper and an aggression.
yeah.
Is that not a red card?
No, 100%. And actually, really oddly, and we'll speak about it in a bit, when we went to see or wait for the players to come out after the match just to see how they were, I remember Sweens mentioning something that he was really good mates with him or something. Do you remember that? He said that, like
Yeah,
he knew him really well outside of football. They knew each other or something.
yeah. But
Uh,
also, you look at that moment, and the keeper's come to catch the ball, and then he's
yeah.
dropped it before Sweens has even got near him.
Right. I thought the referee. I'm going to go out and live. I thought this season that was the worst referee we've had. I think that was the worst one we've had this season. He was really bad yesterday, and some of those for me it was the good and the Dan Kemp one. And when Dan Kemp
Oh,
scored, and then it was like I didn't know if we'd scored or not. But we were all running back. I thought, have we scored? Have we not? And then
The problem is we're trying to find a competent referee,
yeah, it's
and
not.
that's
No,
where the standard is.
yeah, there's none. There's none.
there's also something I forgot to mention within that mini episode. For the penalty, Dan Kemp's going back. Now, yes, Kempy should probably release a ball sooner to Goody or Sweens, right? But correct me if I'm wrong, their player was all over him,
Mm.
round his neck, dragging him back, pulling him off the ball.
Yeah.
Are we playing American football now?
No, 100%. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I thought he got.
Uh,
Do you know what I am? And just on the whole of this game, boys. Again, I obviously thought about it on the way home after the match yesterday. I watched the EFL highlight show last night and watched it back. I think for me to evaluate this game really was we got the system right and we somewhat got the personnel. I think Louis Thompson probably should have played, but for the best part, we somewhat got the personnel right. And I think the players will have to take accountability for that because at the end of the day, some of those, I think you said it, Anne, really well, schoolboy errors, not going with runners, giving the ball away. Again, not a lot of ball retention yesterday. I felt at times when we had possession of the ball, we didn't really move it quick enough. Northampton sat in a low block again, and we were kind of not really playing any fast speed football. There was no players running at people. It was I called it a very tic-tac sort of performance. And then to miss the chances that we missed, you will get punished in League One, regardless if you're playing a Northampton or a Port Vale. And I think really oddly, and I know we give Revs obviously criticism because it's 3 wins in 19, but I think ultimately they let Revs down yesterday from that performance. Because I thought when I saw the lineup, I thought, oh, he's got that bang on. He's played 3-5-2. He's got really in a partnership, brilliant, the one thing I do want to mention that was the only thing that I didn't agree with was leaving Phoenix Patterson out the squad. That was the only thing for me. I thought, what are we doing there? Phoenix. I found out today he wasn't injured. He was just, I was told by some of the media, not the club's media, but the county's media last night, he was left out. What are we doing?
Did you see his face after the warm up? How livid he was.
It's just like
He looked livid.
You have chosen Bez, who I love, and I know we have a little laugh about Bez. You've chosen Bez over Phoenix Patterson. He should be on. He should be coming on with. God, like we saw yesterday, how poor Northampton were defensively. Could you imagine Phoenix's delivery into the box with 20 minutes to go?
I mean, get Harvey off the corners.
What are we doing?
For God's sakes.
That was the one thing that I was really frustrated about yesterday.
Do you know what? You also look at it and you go, he made the change and he puts Jordan Roberts left wing back and he puts Jem Campbell in the 10. Now, for me, if you're going to do that, Roberts goes up front, Jem Campbell goes to left wing back, and you put Phoenix Patterson in the 10 because he's left and right foot and he can go each way.
Yeah, it's a good point. And we said it, I think, a month ago, didn't we? After Christmas, why couldn't you try Phoenix in the 10 role?
Yeah,
you know? Just a bad one for us boys. After it, I think a lot of people were like, "Is that it now?" But I think, look, the thing is, right? I love Revs, and I really do stick my flag in the floor for Revs because I really want it to work, and I think he's done a brilliant job in creating a top half League One team as we did. I just really, really hope that these next 3 home matches, we get that system right, we get the personnel right, and perform. We start to see us winning games of football because, I'd hate for him to. I don't think he will because I think Phil Wallace is going to stick by Revs, but I really want it to work out for Revs. I really do. It's been a tough 19 games because we're 3-19.
I've got a question.
I've
got a question for you both.
What?
And we had this discussion last night on another group. The 5-year deal that Revs got, is it A, naive, or B, reactionary to the way we started the season?
It's probably, I think we had such an amazing start, right? Like we won at 8 in 10, and it was like, whoa. And I think everyone just thought we were going to be probably 7th and higher, 6th and higher, right? Based on the points we accumulated and the level we were playing. I think maybe that Phil Wallace saw an opportunity to give us that security, given the start that we had. And I'm wondering if we wouldn't have had that start, would we have still given a 5-year contract? Like, say, for example, we didn't have that start and we were like 15th. Would he have still been given that 5-year contract? I don't know. I mean, no, it might be the pipeline all along.
I personally think reactionary because you look at who did we play in those first 10 games?
It was Blackpool, Rotherham, Northampton, Port Vale, Huddersfield, Wickham.
Exactly. Majority of those teams bottom half. And yes, we won the games, but that's because we had our plan A and we always start the season well. No one had found us out, but we had an identity. And from my view, we've lost that. And that's the main thing for me, that we've lost our identity. We don't have a plan B that wins us games. And for me, I just thought, I talked about it yesterday to you two. It was about that. I just felt like it was a bit of a shambles yesterday in the second half because we just seemed to chuck loads and loads of different identities onto the pitch just to try and make it work. But we didn't have a clear vision whatsoever.
Good point. It's a really good point. I love Revs to the fact that he's created a top half League One team. But when I was watching that yesterday, I was thinking to myself, we've got no identity. We have. It's not like the opening 2 months where you could say we're a bit of both. We can play some brilliant football. We can be direct. We move the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. And we get players into pockets of space, and we deliver the ball. Like, there isn't that.
I'll just say something though, that for me, the Stevenage way is very simple, and we all know the game plan. And when it works, especially maybe at home, if we win 1-0, we win 2-0, the game plan's very easy. We set up, we dominate in terms of what we know how to play, our duels, our intensity, our game style. When we complicate it, that's when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And because when we dominate games, it's when we have a simple game plan that we execute to the max, and we do it well. We do it so well that we just dominate and we win games. That's how we win games. And I feel like our style has been so complicated, and it might be through factors of results, players not being good enough, maybe just not having the players, But if they've been brought into the club, they must be able to play that way that Revs wants and the way that we want. Because I'm not being funny, they showed it in the first 10 games. They can do it again. And it's the thing, it needs to be made simplistic. Think back to Peterborough, how simplistic the game style, the game plan was. 3-5-2, we're going to play how we know the 3-5-2 works. We're going to replicate the performance that we saw away to Peterborough. And we got the exact same result because we played that way.
I look at the season win at Stockport, right, 3-1, because that was like somewhat a 4-2-3-1 that day. But look at the way that we played. We had runners, we had overlappers. Look at the football for the third goal. The second, Reedy's goal. Look at the football for that. People getting behind, runners, play. It was brilliant. Like we've lost that. I feel we don't play like that now. It's very slow. There's no identity. It's almost like when we have the ball, and I thought it's against Northampton yesterday. We don't actually know what we're doing in the sense of how we're going to play. It's someone gets the ball and it's all right. We'll move the ball over there. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of patterns of play in our performance.
I said it yesterday in reaction. We get the ball and we go sideways, 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 and we don't penetrate. And unfortunately, the players we have aren't good enough to be able to go sideways, sideways, sideways for a period of time before we open up a gap out wide for one of our attackers to run into. But also, when we do move the ball wide, our attackers are stood still. There was a point.
Why did we keep going down that right side for like the 20 minutes, half an hour? Every time we did it, just whacking the cross into the box, and we didn't use anything. We didn't try and switch the play or use the width on the left side.
How many times did the ball go in the box and Northampton won it, for goodness sake? Like, how many times in that 20-minute period?
It was,
you know what I mean?
I think there was a point in the first half. Sweens maybe had the ball, or was it Sweens or Good had the ball at the back, and we were behind them, and you were looking up the pitch, and not one player looked to make a run. They were making little jogs and little feints here and there. There was no one making a run. That's basic. To run in behind. That is basic. You're just static. And there's no point playing football if you're going to be static. So people are just going to win the ball off you, and we're going to go for another defensive set.
I agree, and I think also to finish, lads, as well on this before we look forward. I think Alex Ravel as well. He's in. I mean, obviously, he's in a very, very pressured situation at the minute, given we've won 3 matches in 19, and we're, the away form recently. I think we've lost 8 games in total, but 5 in our last 5.
13, I think we've conceded in 5.
Yeah, that's what Anne said. Because the last 3 games we've lost with a 3, haven't we, in a deficit?
Yeah.
With Revs is a great manager when it's going well for you, right? When you saw at the start of the season, momentum, back-to-back wins, dominating teams. But when teams suss you out, Revs hasn't really proved that he's got that managerial ability to get your team winning games.
We talked about this yesterday. It's about when adversity comes your way, how do you respond? How do you change?
100%. And although I know the second half of the season under League One under Evans, Steve found it tough, didn't he, in that period before although I think there were other factors with that. But I always use the promotion season. We hit that point in Feb where we started losing a couple of games to some of the poor sides, right? And you thought, I think we went fourth at one point, fifth. And it was like, oh, no, we're not going to fall short. But Steve Evans, he showed in that month an ability, even with the injuries, to find a way to start winning games again. And that's what the real top managers do. And Revs is in a point now where he has to show that he is one of those top managers that's got the ability to get your team winning games again, even though teams have sussed you out and you've got injuries. And I hope he can do it, because if he doesn't, I don't know where or what, not position in the league, but where we're going to be in terms.
Where do you both stand on the situation concerning Revs? I'd say by the end of the 3 home games, so Port Vale next Tuesday.
Yeah, I want it to work with Revs, man. I love the bloke. I really want it to work. And I think Revs is a top manager. I think, the squad that he put together shows how much of a top guy he is in the role. He needs to prove what I just said about having that ability to get teams winning football games again.
He needs to be intelligent with it. He's got to nail everything. And I know it's hard, but for me, it was a problem on yesterday, because I don't personally think that he got the personnel right yesterday. Because if it was a game against a top side, if it was a game against Barnsley, then you go, okay, you have Harvey White in there, maybe, that type of game. But it's Northampton, and Harvey White does not suit that sort of game. You want Louis Thompson in there.
But we said it about Cole Pigiani. That was Cole Pigiani's type of game yesterday.
And you know it. You know it because we've proved it season upon season. Those types of games, they can be the defining games. And you've got to have the players in our squad that we know we have. They've been there and done it. Think of the promotion season, the players we still have in the team. Louis Thompson suits that game down to the ground. Harvey White suits a game against a bigger team where quality needs to be where quality needs to be shown. But if you're a type of game where it comes down to those moments where you need to work harder than the opposition, you need to find that ball and to win that ball and create that chance to go and win the game, you've got to have someone like Louis Thompson in that team, and you've got to have the personnel that suit the approach that you want to win the game. Because you're not going to go and... I'm not being funny. We were never going to go and play Northampton off the park, because we just haven't got it at the moment. We will have to beat them at the game we know we can beat them at with the personnel. And that's with Louis Thompson. That's with Cole Pigiani in the team, with the leadership, with the organisation. That's what we want.
I think as well, to conclude as well, just look at the 2-0 win that we had against them right at the start of the season when we went top. Compared to that, it was night and day. Look how dominant we were at home, how the quality that we had on the ball, the way that we played, the chances we got. It was night and day to that. And that's been a product of how many months? 5-6 months apart, I think. Gutting. We do move on, and I am going to come on to the league table really quickly before we look ahead to the massive 3 home matches that are ahead. Oh my God. What games these are. I'll be honest, I'm like a kid. I'm really excited, boys. I'm really excited. I'm sorry, I'm throwing it in now. I can't wait. But the league table at the minute, we'll go from the bottom to top. There were some big results on the weekend in the division. Some big results. Peterborough winning 6-1 against Wigan, with Wigan firing Ryan Lowe. We had Cardiff winning again. We had Lincoln winning again, staying in the top 2. There were also big results for Wickham. Bradford lost. Bolton got a real close 3-2 victory against Barnsley. There were some big results on the weekend. Blackpool getting a point at Huddersfield. We will go through the league table. Bottom 4 at the minute is Port Vale, Rotherham, Wigan and Burton. From 20th to 12th, Doncaster, Northampton, Leyton Orient, Blackpool, Plymouth, Barnsley, Wimbledon, Exeter and Mansfield. From 11th to 7th, Reading, Peterborough, us in 9th place at the minute. Still top half, still achieving that goal. Wickham 8th, and Luton in seventh. And the top six is Bradford, Huddersfield, Stockport, Bolton. And the top two are Lincoln and Cardiff. Our form now means that we've played 29 matches. We've got 11 wins, 9 draws, 9 defeats, with 31 goals scored and 30 goals conceded, with a goal difference of +1. I can see Luca's got his hand up.
I'd just like to touch on something quickly. I want to touch on standards.
Go for it, mate.
And I feel like it's something that, because of our form, I feel like the attitudes from the first 10 games have completely switched. And we are now comfortable with drawing games and having the attitude of not going for 3 points. And for me, that's a big thing for our downfall and deterioration in form this season. I think a lot of the time, we as fans know how good this team is based on the first 10 games.
Yeah.
And for me, we should still be aiming for those standards. And that's the thing. I think that standards have dropped based on that. And I think that's affected our whole play, our game style, the confidence, everything. It just seems like, because we're in this sort of form, it's more acceptable in a way to have these defeats for a lot of people. And for us, it's like, this should be. We know how much better we are. We should be going to Northampton, turning up like we did in the home reverse fixture, and putting in a performance like that. I think standards have dropped, and I think we've got to restore them to what they were.
Who does that fall down to? Does that fall on the manager? Does that fall on the players? Like,
yeah, both. I think.
I think it's a collective attitude that's built up.
It's collective. I think when you look at it, right, I thought this for a while. I think, obviously, we've had that brilliant start, unbelievable start, but we have, I don't say forgotten, but you could use it in this scenario. We've forgotten how to win games.
Yeah.
Like I said to you guys, we're in a position, and we did this against Peterborough, although I thought Peterborough, that 1-0 win, we were brilliant in, and we should have won by more. Just win a game. It doesn't matter how you win it. Just win a game. Win a game. Heck, just win a couple of games, right? And just get a blueprint of winning a couple of games. Like having a couple of wins where you've played a certain way and you've been able to get a win in the bag. Just win a couple of games, like close together, right? Because, I feel like you could argue and say we have almost somewhat forgotten how to win a little bit, and I think that comes from the players. I think that comes from the manager. Look, I think, in my opinion, I think you've got to hand that to Revs more because of the lack of changes in system. If you're a manager and you get to a point where you can see that teams are setting up in a certain way to stifle you, that you need to have that nous to go, okay, we need to change the system and we need to find other ways of playing, like all the top teams do, right? I use Lincoln as a great example, who have played 4 different systems this season. You have to have that, right? So I think obviously that does lay down to Revs a lot, but also to the players as well, because again, that Saturday, in my opinion, was down to the players, and the players have to take accountability for that on Saturday. For that, they let Revs down.
I've noticed something as well. Bar the Peterborough home game, when was the last time we put together and dominated for 90 minutes? We're dominating periods of games. We're dominating 45 minutes.
It's probably
I don't think we dominated Stockport. I think we were just, the game plan was brilliant. We executed it, but they dominated the ball and had a lot of chances. I think it could go down to both Peterborough games.
My point here being is, we sit here and we go, oh, but we dominated 45 minutes. We dominated however long. In football, teams will have 5-10 minute spells. That's normal. That's acceptable. If you're serious about playoffs and going for the upper echelons of a league, you've got to dominate a game for 75, 80 minutes. You have to. And, you look at yesterday, We had 45 minutes where we were completely on top. Northampton capped an hour and a half. And I would say we had maybe a 10-minute spell just after we scored, 5, 10 minutes in the first half. So what, 40, 50, 55 minutes of domination in the game? That doesn't win you a game of football, I'm
The thing
afraid.
is, though, like a 45-minute period of dominance isn't good enough because it means we've either started poorly or we've tailed off.
This is my point. That's my point. We're we're coming out of the game going, oh, but we did really well for 45 minutes. Yeah, but and when we read statistics out, and no, I fully understand, like, we need to look at what we did really well, what we didn't do so well. But the main statistic that matters at the end of the game is the scoreline for me.
I think in a few of the, especially the last few months, at the start of the season we were, because obviously we had the incredible start. But the past few months, I think there's been many scenarios where we've been very sort of reactive in games, right? So, for example, the top managers and the top teams, like you're in League One, you're never really going to dominate for the full 90 minutes. You can dominate for 70, 75. You can dominate for a large period of it. But the way that the level is, there will be games where you see the other team dominate for a period in the game, whether that's 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Heck, there might even be a game that we're dominated or the other team's dominated us. And then we've had remember Cardiff away? When we had that 20-minute spell in the second half and we scored and we were 1-0. And do you know what I mean?
But I bring it into both extremes. Don't you think that at the start of the season, remember when we went on that record at home where we didn't concede a shot on target?
Yeah.
Think about that dominance. We used to do it every single game for those 10 games. Now we can't do it.
100%. And I think at that point was in games for me, you as a top manager, the top managers make certain decisions and change certain things in game. I guess you quit in game management that then eventually gets their team back on top of the game. And I feel like we haven't done that enough in a lot of the games. And I use Exeter City away for an example, right? This game, I remember watching that, and you could see from the very first 15 minutes that we were being dominated in that game. Jordan Houghton couldn't make a pass. The ball retention was poor. You had Reedy on his own, no support. And I thought, you're going to have to change this in the next 10 minutes because Exeter are going to score eventually in the second. You have to change. And I remember we got to half time and there was no change. And there was no, he brought Harry Cornick come on later and Bez come on later in the game, but the game was already gone. Right. And I feel like we've lacked that the past few months. The opening part of the season, we were so damn good, and I think we shocked a lot of teams with the way that we played. Teams didn't set up in a certain way and we were able to dominate.
Do you think that's a flaw with us over the last few seasons where we've kind of set up to start the season so well, but we haven't really prepared for the long term of the season?
Potentially. I think teams don't give us the credit of the benefit of the doubt at the start of the season. I think early on in the season, and don't get me wrong, the team that we created this season, I think would have won those games regardless at that point, right? Because start the season, we really believed in what we'd created. But I think when we've hit October, November, when you've won 8 games in 10, teams are going to do their home. They're going to find ways to start getting results against you. It's football. And we haven't had the nous to evolve to get us winning again and get us picking up points regularly again. And we've seen that in the fall with 3 wins in 19, right?
You talk about that Exeter game and we were getting dominated. Who was sat on the bench for the whole game again? Louis Thompson.
Well, yeah, no, I said that in my reaction video.
You put him on the pitch and you've got an outlet. We don't have if Louis Thompson doesn't play, who is your midfield outlet?
Louis Thompson does not disappoint. That's the bottom line. When he comes on,
plays poorly either. He never plays. Well, God, I'll tell you a question. When was the last time that Louis Thompson had a bad game?
It's
I
not
can't,
like he doesn't. He runs. He runs for his life, and that is what he does. He'll
I
give
don't
you
think Louis.
110%. He will give you.
I don't think since joining Louis Tom, I don't think there's not one single
No.
game that I can think of where I go, "Oh, Louis Thompson was really bad that day." I honestly cannot with Lou.
And the sad reality of it is he'll probably go in the summer if
Mm.
it's going to carry on like this. He's gone.
I think a few of them
I
will.
know, I know, I know. And then we're going to sit here and go, well, who's going to do the Louis Thompson role?
Mm,
Dan Phillips can do it, but isn't really suited to doing it. Harvey won't. Harvey won't. You must be joking me. Jordan Houghton's more of a passing midfielder.
well, I also saw. I don't know if you boys saw the thing about Blackburn and Dan Phillips. They're lining up for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
I
he'll
mean,
go.
look, I can see why if he does go, I can see why he wants to go
Yeah,
because this is becoming a regular occurrence for
I
us
mean,
now.
he's been head and shoulders above anyone in our midfield over the last month or so,
well,
isn't he?
I mean,
The
yesterday.
only
Yes, sorry, I was going to say yesterday. We come out of the ground and I clapped Dan Phillips. I thought he was fine
the
yesterday.
only two that can come out of yesterday with any sort of credit, Dan Phillips, Dan Sweeney. The rest of them,
Mm.
the rest of them, I watched their reactions. They
I thought
barely came across to
I
the
felt for
fans.
Lewis Freestone a little bit as well, a lot of the
Yeah,
time. But yeah, I would say those. Oh, and Philip
the
Marshall actually.
yeah. The only two that actually bothered coming close enough to the fans to take on what we were saying, Charlie Good and Dan Sweeney, and all Charlie Good went, we'll go again. That means nothing because ultimately you say, oh yeah, we'll go again. What? Like just that again on Tuesday, and we'll concede another three. Great, can't wait. You know,
Yeah,
it says a lot when we were stood by the team coach, players walked past us. And Dan Sweeney went, lads, I'm so sorry. That was not good enough. And
mm,
Dan Phillips looked at us, saw us, got back off the coach and went, safe journey home, lads. Sorry. Charlie Good walked past us 3 or 4 times, didn't say a word. Philip Marshall appreciated us being there. No one else. Not Scott, not Banfield, not Revs, not Kemp, not White, not Saxon, not Luther, not Chem, not the Bez. My point now, we spent 26 quid for a ticket, however much for food, however much for drinks, however much for petrol and parking. It's not like we've got the free cash and just go, oh yeah, we'll chuck it, we'll go and do this. Do you know, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
We pay because, and the reason why I love this club so much is because the players are just such genuine people.
They're integrated with the fans, aren't they?
Mm,
That's
They,
yeah.
the connection.
but yesterday was a perfect moment to go as they came out, see us and go, lads. All of them could have gone, lads. We're really sorry.
It's not what we're about. It's not what we're about.
That's what makes those legends, right? Pidge, Sweens,
Yeah,
all of the that's that's why we have so much love for those players, right? And also look the new players as well, Lewis Freestone, Louis, Dan
yeah,
Phillips, because they have that time for the supporters and they speak to the fans on social media, off social media. Do you know what I mean? It's that integration. That's the.
yesterday. I know they're disappointed, but how do we feel? Like for me, and I know it's not, I don't want to make it about me. I'm not making it a big deal, but I didn't get into 8 o'clock last night. I had to come back around the M25 and then down the A1 and the M3. If there was a moment where I'm then sat in traffic, I could be getting in at any time past
And
midnight
we're
because
and
of the
we're free in
M25.
19 for God's sake. It's
Yeah,
like
You know,
when you go back to
that,
saying let's go again and everything. It's like
yeah,
well, we've seen
just
this story before.
yeah,
there was that perfect moment to go come up to us all, shake all of our hands, and gone, sorry, lads.
yeah.
The only two that did it, Sweeney and Phillips, and for that, I hold them in the highest regard of respect. The
I,
rest of them, they've just dropped.
But
I'm sorry they have.
to be honest with you, isn't it really convenient that Dan Sweeney and Dan Phillips have been the two best performers over the past few weeks as well,
They're
right?
the only ones that can come out of yesterday with their heads held high.
I love the
They
Sweeney.
really can. The rest of them,
There'll probably be players that go. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I,
So sorry, go on, Andy.
if they go, who's going to be the one that upholds the standards and comes out after performances like that and apologizes to the fans? Who's going to be the one? Who
Yeah,
will it be?
I agree.
Because you can't rely on a new bloke who's coming through the door in the summer to be that person.
Mm.
It's got to be one of the ones that's been here for a while.
I agree. It's going to be interesting to see. And again, it was great to wait for the players last night and have a chat with Sweens. I love Sweens to pieces, and it was it was eye opening to see. Boys, we've got about 5-10 minutes. The next three huge games. Can we just win? Just win, please. So let's just take a look at it before we end. So Tuesday night is our 30th. Can you believe that, by the way? 30th match this season in the 25-26 season. We've got Barnsley at home Tuesday. We then got Huddersfield Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. What a game. And then we've got Port Vale at home next Tuesday. So 3 consecutive home matches. A real opportunity to, get a win or get a couple of wins or just put a little bit of form together and get a bit of momentum and go into the last pot. Because again, we know how massive next season is in trying to stay a top half League One team. And I think these last 17 games are huge for that. So look, massive games. We know that we've got Wickham and Stockport at the end, but 3 home matches, boys. Look, we want to see the right personnel. I mean, we'll start with Tuesday, Barnsley. Obviously, we played Barnsley last week. We know Barnsley because of that. We know 3-5-2, get the personnel right, get Louis Thompson back in, probably get Pidge back in. And although we've seen 3 wins in 18, if you make those changes and you have the right system and right personnel, I'm really confident we can win regardless of the fact that we've only had 3 wins in 19. Do you see what I mean? This is the thing about it. You get the system right, get the personnel right, make the right choices. I'm really confident we can start winning again. I know it might sound a bit delusional, probably does because I love this team so much, but I really believe in them. You just got to get those things right. So Tuesday, get it
Question
right.
for you.
Do you know what I mean?
Pidge comes in. Who's getting dropped out of Freestone, Sweens, and Good?
Do you know what the problem is?
How about you play all of them?
It will be Sweens. It will be Sweens. That's the problem. It will be Sweens.
It will be Sweens, but it shouldn't be Sweens, and it should be Charlie Good.
Exactly.
I wonder if he'll go all of them with Lewis Freestone left back.
Who plays right back then?
It would have to be Luca.
What? So them 3 as a back 3, and then Lewis Freestone as a wing back.
Oh, that's defensive, isn't it? I mean, for me,
I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't. But
Tuesday we have to step up. That's the simple thing.
Yeah, I would. Like as well. Like, get it right, get the system right, get the style right, and just be attacking, be exciting, press high. We didn't see that.
Play to our strengths.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do you remember Peterborough in the 3-5-2? The press. Phillips winning the ball back, really forcing mistakes on the goalkeeper. Press high in this game, be attacking.
I do think though, for me, I know we played them last week, and we let them play to their strengths, and that's something we can't do again. I reckon this is the opportunity for the win, the biggest opportunity for the win, in my opinion. I think Huddersfield will be really tough. I think Vale at the bottom fighting for their lives, aren't they? And I mean, I think form's improved for them. They're still under a new manager as well. I reckon Barnsley's the game, really. I reckon Tuesday's the game to go and, we've played them recently. We know how they'll play, and we know how poorly we kind of set up and played against them recently.
Yeah.
Go and turn it around. Go and turn it around on Tuesday.
I think from these 3 home matches, you're looking at Barnsley and Port Vale as the games. I think they're the games that you would like to see us get wins in or get a win from. Huddersfield's going to be really difficult. And I think that game's a little bit of a free hit in terms of if we do get a result, brilliant. But I think you're looking at Barnsley and Port Vale as, really Barnsley. I know we played them last week. They've lost Keeler Dunn, who was there, everything really.
I honestly, though, I think that games shouldn't be free hits. Why don't we make the stadium a fortress again? It should be. 100%. Why don't we? We've taken away the intimidation from it completely.
I agree. I think those two matches are huge. Huddersfield, I think, is an incredibly tough game. And I think, really, I'm with you. I think Tuesday and next Tuesday, really this month, are the two most winnable games we have. And I think when you look at that, you would love to see us beat Barnsley, beat Port Vale, and then at least you've got 2 wins somewhat close together, right? And if we're able to get a result at Huddersfield or Wickham or Stockport, it's just a bonus. But at least that gets us to near 50 points, 2 wins in the bag. I think it's absolutely huge, and it's going to be very exciting. We will be back recording before Huddersfield, so we will do an episode after Barnsley. Big game. I mean, really quickly, boys, before we end on some questions, what are we saying? 3-5-2, Louis and Peach both in?
Yeah.
Has to be. If I see a 4-2-3-1 with Harvey White, I'm turning my car around and going home. I'm not watching it. I'm not. So I know what's coming.
Dan's coming all the way from work.
And you're going to put us with Donners on the post-match reaction?
Oh, no.
Come on.
Instant reaction. Will Reece be like,
I will not watch it. I can't sit and watch another game of Harvey White strolling around midfield.
Yeah.
Because it's not good enough.
It'd be funny if Harvey went and scored a screamer, wouldn't it, to win the game? That'd be
great. Getting up to 4 goals for the season.
I know. Right, lads, because we've gone over time. We've got questions, but we're not going to be able to do all of them. So I'm really sorry to the listeners that we weren't able to get through all of them. Really quickly, Chris asked, do you feel the players' management are pushing themselves to be better, or do you feel they're content with their current position? As at the moment on the pitch, it doesn't see like anyone is pushing themselves at each other to be better. I think, Luca, you brought this up earlier. We're kind of comfortable.
I think they're content with probably trying to find their position. Yeah. I think we want to be back where we were, but for me, there isn't a plan to find that. And we're comfortable with where we are at the moment, but where we are at the moment isn't good enough. And that's the simple answer, really. We need to get back to the standards that we set at the start of the season, and just the standards that we know we can perform to. Because as a team, you should be performing to the standards that you know you can. Yeah. You shouldn't be content with, because form's been like this and it's been tough. Why not get in on Tuesday, put in a performance like Peterborough, and perform, win the game, and start the momentum again. Get that running going, because we want to be in that top half. We want to be in that top 10 because we know we should be in that top 10.
I think this comes down to the opening 10 matches was us as a squad. I know to win 8 is unbelievable, incredible, but that was us. As Rev said in an interview, that's what we're capable of. That's what this squad is. But the last 3 months haven't been that. All right, the 3-1 at Stockport was, but we haven't been that. So I think we should be looking to be exactly the standards that we saw in the opening 3 months of the season. And when we see that, we'll win matches regularly as we saw them, because that's what we created. Borough fans, a massive apology that we haven't been able to answer all your questions. Next week, or after Barnsley, we'll do a designated questions round so all of you guys can get your questions in. We have run out of time tonight, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us and tuning in. We'll be back before Huddersfield, after Barnsley. Hopefully we have a win on the board. It is our game in hand on Tuesday as well. There's only 3 games. So if we do win, we go back joint 7th with 45 points and 12 wins. It would be absolutely huge. And Luca, boys, thanks for tonight. It's been, interesting. We've whacked out 2 hours of content from the instant reaction and this. Let's go on.
We love it.
Oh, we stick by them through.
At least the Pizza Hut was good. Come on.
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Do you know what? That's the thing, isn't it? Like, look at us. Like, 3 wins in 19, we were on here and we're sticking by them. This is what we do. This is what the players, if you're listening, just do it, please. Anne's getting in at 1 a.m. on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Why am I doing it to myself?
Me. Dear.
Why am I doing it?
I
I
know.
think I said on one of my a group chat earlier, I was like, I'm going on Tuesday. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I can see what's going to happen.
You got to do it. You got to do it, mate. But
It's,
players, if you're listening, we're sticking by you. Please do. We love you. We love all of you. Please, for us. Borough fans, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back before the big game against Huddersfield on Saturday. Hopefully, we've got that win against Barnsley on Tuesday. Make sure to give us a follow, like, and a subscribe on YouTube and also on Spotify and all the audibles, etc. Make sure to tune into the instant reaction video that you will see dropping Tuesday night. We're going to get that edited quickly for you all and hopefully get that out by after the match on Tuesday night. Stay tuned for all the content. Again, make sure to tune into that instant reaction after the match on Tuesday. And we will all see you back after, hopefully, a big result against Barnsley on Tuesday. Guys, at this time, as always, you have been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.